I did a poll asking which figure from the Marvel Legends Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave are you looking forward to? Ranking second is Marrow. I believe the game Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes is a primary reason for her popularity. In this review, I will look closer at the figure and compare her costume to the game and comic books. Perform a size comparison with Jada Toys Street Fighter figures, 1/12 scale MAFEX, and 7-inch scale Marvel Select figures. Welcome back to the channel and thank you for checking out my review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends Marrow from the X-Men Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. This review includes some of the requests I received in the comments and some kitbash I missed for the boss fight studio Red Sonja. Similar to Cable from the Sabu Build-A-Figure wave, I believe Hasbro took inspiration mostly from the Marvel vs. Capcom game. The hairstyle design is consistent with the Marvel vs. Capcom game and the comic books. Nicely done is her bangs out. In terms of her eyes, it is accurate to the comic books at blue instead of the art from the game. Sarah has inkjet printed eyes and there is dark washes underneath her eyelids, nicely painted red lips. As sharp as her bone weapons is her nose. This is one of the sharpest nose I've ever seen in Marvel Legends. Nicely sculpted hair, but there is no paint wash, it's just plain orangey red. The shiny gold painted lines of her costume are sculpted on. Underneath a blue plastic, so there are some paint rubber and you can see the blue underneath the gold. The sculpt and the size of her chest is similar to Phoenix or Dark Avengers Warbird. Hasbro nailed it in terms of bone details, such as this one, like teeth-like, and there is some brownish wash on it to highlight the nicely sculpted bone details. There is no gap showing when you crunch her backwards and forwards. Plain flesh plastic for her abs, nicely sculpted abs. Double jointed pinless elbows. As mentioned a while ago, this gold thing is the same as this one, both sculpted on and there can be paint chip. A lot of character specific sculpted details on this body mold, like this one on her knees. Well executed by Hasbro because it does not prevent any articulation for her double jointed knees. Her upper torso is green plastic, the blue is just painted on and you can see some paint defects. For her legs, it is blue plastic and the green is painted on, still some defects. The bottom of her feet has a peg hole, the trademark and the product number. When pacing forward, the bones on her back has some paint wash, but when you look from behind, there is no paint wash on the back, but still nicely sculpted details. And also for the spine, those are sculpted spine details. Since most collectors display their figures facing forward, I guess it doesn't matter if there's no paint wash. It's the same for her weapons right here, wherein there's paint wash on one side and there's no paint wash on the back. It's just a plain white plastic. But still, both sides are sculpted really well, despite of the lack of paint wash for the back parts of her bones. Since the toy is for ages 4 and up, Hasbro designed the bones not to be sharp, very bendable plastic that they just snap back slowly into their original position. The figure does not come with any alternate head. In the comments below, let me know, is the sculpt alone of the figure enough value for money to you? If you found this review useful, hope you give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures might still be available, I left a link in the description below. I'm Tigerknight! Marrow comes only with one head with a stoic facial expression, but she comes with a pair of weapon holding hands. These hands can hinge forward and back. Supposedly glove hands, when you remove it, this part of the gloves is left, so be careful not to lose it. So changing her hands, there are sculpted fingernails I noticed, so these are just the regular Hasbro hands with different color plastic. She comes with a single closed fist hands for her left hand. Bringing the total number of hands to 4 is a karate chopping right hand. The closed fist hand can hinge forward and back, which is the same for the karate chopping hands. They all hinge forward and back. With 2 weapon holding hands, thankfully Hasbro gave 2 of her knife. Like Crocodile Dundee, this is a large knife. As mentioned a while ago, there are paint washes on one side of brown and the other side does not have any paint wash. They're soft type plastic, so they're not sharp to hurt you. The design of the knife is suspiciously Capcom game-like. There is not much difference in terms of the costume design between the comics and the game. But the impressive thing about this figure is the head sculpt. You can use it for a Excalibur Kitbash. In my Excalibur 3-pack review, I used Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey head as Phoenix Rachel Summers, giving Rachel Summers a head sculpt upgrade using Marrow. So this is what she looks like. On the Phoenix body, you can't tell that it is actually Marrow's head because the head looks really pretty. It's nicely done, especially with her hair and the inkjet printed details. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this is the new Rachel Summers head sculpt? Since this is the Kitbash part of the review, I'll perform another requested Kitbash, performing a head swap between Jada Toys Street Fighter's Cammy and the 60th Anniversary Avengers Black Widow. The problem is the peg is different, so the head sits very low on the Cammy body. You can see that she doesn't have a neck. We will use sticky tack in order to fix the position of her head. I added more blue tack or sticky tack than usual because we need the head to sit really high to expose a neck. So just push a little bit. It's not that bad. It actually looks alright. However, it does feel like her head is larger for this body. Using the short hair Black Widow head sculpt, it's the same thing, but this actually looks better than the first in terms of the size proportion. Having a full body look, it seems the head still is bigger, but it's barely noticeable. This one looks alright. I actually like this one between the 3. But the head still is large. Let me know in the comments below, is this a good Kitbash? I mentioned in part 2 of my Boss Fight Studios Epic Hacks Red Sonja review that this head sculpt is the one that I least like. But someone pointed out that it can be a good head sculpt for Siryn, which Hasbro skipped giving a screaming head sculpt. As pointed out in my Boss Fight Studio Red Sonja review, the neck peg of Marvel Legends and Boss Fight won't be the same. Trying out the Boss Fight Studio Red Sonja screaming head on the Siryn body, the ball of the neck peg of Siryn is a little bit larger compared to the whole of the head of Red Sonja. So I push a little bit harder to get it in, but there would be a gap between the neck and the head, so the ball is exposed. But this is a good screaming head sculpt for Terry, something that Hasbro skipped and is really missing to show Terry's superpowers. I tried pushing further, but the ball of the neck peg just won't get in. The hair of Red Sonja does manage to hide the fact that it is not a perfect fit. In the comments below, let me know, is this a perfect screaming head for Siryn? To demonstrate how Siryn with the new Red Sonja screaming head scales with other Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Force action figures, here we have her with the rest of 90s X-Force led by Cable. Was this Kitbash useful? If it is, I hope you give this review a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. Thanks to Comics Many for this suggestion. Now I found a use for this screaming head sculpt of Red Sonja. All of Red Sonja's head sculpt are stoic or angry. Using Siryn's head on the Red Sonja body, I don't think it's a good fit. The head is very heavy, so I need sticky tack to keep it still. I rather go back using Jean Grey with a smiling head, which looks better on this Red Sonja body. Other Kitbash I missed out are Jean's frenemies. Here we have Psylocke on the Red Sonja body. There is a very obvious skin color difference between Psylocke Marvel Legends head and the Red Sonja pale body mode, so I don't recommend this Kitbash. The Kitbash that actually works in terms of skin color is the astonishing X-Men Emma Frost on the Red Sonja body. It's not that noticeable in terms of the difference in skin color. A lot of comments ask for removing the boots. Here is what she looks like without the boots. Of course, she does not have a interchangeable bare feet, so you still have a part of the boot on her feet. This is the boots removed. It's not glued on. Initially I thought it was, but it's not really glued on. I used hot water to loosen the feet, but I didn't realize that you can actually just pull it out with a little force. Notice here, there is brown paint on top of her flesh skin. The hinge, however, is really brown plastic. Going back to Marrow, one team which she was a part of during the Krakowan age is the Secret X-Men. The team is composed of nominees that did not make it to the X-Men. This includes Forge, Sunspot, Boom Boom, Strong Guy, Banshee, and Cannonball. Missing members are Tempo and Armor. At this point, there is no Marvel Legends of them. For this Kitbash, in order for them to have a consistent color in terms of uniform, I used the Uncanny X-Men 275 bodies of Gambit and Psylocke. The team uniform in Secret X-Men is different though. The new Hasbro Marvel Legends Marrow action figure stands 15.5 centimeters or 6.1 inch tall. According to Marvel.com, Sarah Nucky stands 6 feet tall. For a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes size comparison, Jada Toys Street Fighter's action figure Wave 1, Player 1 versions of Ryu in white and Chun-Li in blue. Jada Toys Street Fighter action figures Wave 2, Player 1 versions of Ken in red and Dalsim. Jada Toys Street Fighter's action figure Wave 2, Player 1 M. Bison, and the SDCC exclusive Next Level Deluxe Player 2 Chun-Li pink version. Jada Toys Street Fighter's action figure Wave 3 in green, Guile and Cammy. For a 6-inch scale, Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man comparison for a slightly shorter Spider-Man from the Secret Wars wave and the regular size Spider-Man from the Renew Your Vows 2 pack. Also in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game, Captain America Alex Ross art inspired from the 80th anniversary of Marvel Wave. Black Widow from Avengers Earth's Mightiest 60th anniversary wave. War of the Marvels celebrating 85 years of Marvel, Warbird, and Dark Avengers Warbird or Moonstone. Larger Marvel Legends celebrating 85 years of Marvel, Scar, Son of Hulk, and from the Deadpool Legacy Collection, Colossus. From the Deadpool Legacy Collection, Deadpool and Hugh Jackman in his white sleeveless shirt and blue jeans. Spider-Man Retro Wave figures, the Target exclusive Carnage, and the Walmart exclusive Venom. X-Men 97 action figures, Rogue, Wolverine, a short male Marvel Legends figure, Cyclops, a regular size male Marvel Legends in the new Vulcan body mold, and Jean Grey. recently reviewed figures from the X-Men Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave, Age of Apocalypse Gambit, Generation X Husk, Extreme X-Men Wolverine, and Uncanny X-Force Nightcrawler. For a 1/12 size comparison, the Medicom toy MAFEX Brown Costume Wolverine and Daredevil, one of the best figures for 2024. Also, one of the best action figures for 2024, Medicom toy MAFEX Jean Grey as Phoenix, and a X-Men Blue Team member, Psylocke. 6-inch scale Darna by Halimaw Sculptures and Loose Collector, and Coffin Comics Punisher with a supernatural twist, La Merta by Executive Replicas and Loose Collector. Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja, which you can use for a custom of the Goblin Queen. On the other side is X-Men 97 Goblin Queen. 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale size comparison. The 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legend Rogue from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Rogue. 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends Sabretooth from the 50th anniversary of Wolverine 2-pack, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Sabretooth. 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends Hulk from the Celebrating 80 Years of Marvel wave, and the 7-inch scale Diamond Select Toys Marvel Select Immortal Hulk or the Rampaging Hulk. For packaging, she comes in the standard rectangular Build-A-Figure wave box with a window. You can see the figure and the Build-A-Figure part. On the side is art taken from the cover of The Secret X-Men #1 by Filipino artist Lionel Francis Yu. On the other side is the same art and also on the back. Lionel is known for his art in the main X-Men comics during the Dawn of X era. Here is a short read-up. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. Here are the figures of the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. Some warning legalities not for kids ages 0 to 3, consumer service info, made in China, and the barcode. On top of the box is the X logo. Unboxing Marrow from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. Generic Hasbro Marvel Legends yellow comic panel background. There is only one plastic tray holding the figure, accessories, Nemesis arm, and Nemesis alternate hand. For articulation, her head can move from side to side easily. She has a neck peg with a ball and a hinge. He can look up that much, look down that much. He can extend her arms that far, do a full 360 with some minor hindrance by the bones on her back. She has a bicep swivel right here, double jointed pinless elbows. She can reach her face like that. Her wrist can swivel and hinge forward and back. With an upper torso swivel, she can crunch forward that much. She can crunch backward that far really well. She does not have a waist swivel. And she can do a 360 here with no hindrance by the bones. Can do a split. She has a upper thigh swivel right here. Double jointed pinless knees. Can kick her back that far. Can kick forward. She does not have a lower calf swivel. Her feet can hinge forward and back, and she has an ankle rocker. My final thoughts on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Marrow from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. The great thing about this figure are the sculpted bone details of her costume, especially the 6 bones poking out from her back. Excellent brown wash on the bones and accessories. Unfortunately, Hasbro only applied the paint wash on the front of the bones and not on the back. She does not have an angry fighting head sculpt, so she looks calm while fighting. Do I recommend this figure? It is a must-add if you are building a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes roster. Consider adding her if you are collecting the X-Men action figures. It may not be a must-have if you are a casual X-Men collector on a budget. However, as mentioned in my recent Husk review, the large Nemesis Build-A-Figure is tempting to complete. I look forward to completing my Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave reviews, just waiting for the leader of the group, X-Factor Cyclops, to finally show up. Please check what I have reviewed so far Here is a link to the playlist on the top right of your screen. Are you happy with the quality and content of this review? I hope you like this review. Leave me a comment and share it with your friends so YouTube knows how valuable it is and will promote it. With the new YouTube algorithm, most of my reviews are getting fewer views, and it means a lot if you can help me get back on the right track. I appreciate your support, and I hope to see you on the next one.